Irene, hi, Jim Delapine here. I want to give you some video feedback on this. The first thing and most important thing is that you did not use layer masks to isolate your images. This is the main purpose of the entire assignment. So you essentially need to go in there and kind of redo this. I need those layer masks. Those are worth a lot of points. So I want to also show you some additional tips on how to work with this. So let's work with the background first of all. You know, he's on a surface. You have the shadow here, which should be a little blurrier, but what you want to do is this. Um, uh, if you select the background layer, here's what I'm going to do. Let me just first see how big this is. Okay, so it's a big image. So the first thing I'm going to do is hit Control or Command A to select all, and then go to Image Crop. All right, that will crop out all the excess background. Then what we're going to do is move that image straight up, the background. So I'm going to click, start dragging up, and as I'm dragging, I'm holding down the Shift key, and I'm coming right to about, I would say this point right here, right under the arm here. Then I'm going to duplicate the layer by hitting Control or Command J. Okay? Then, on the duplicate copy, go to Edit, Transform, Flip Vertical. Okay, so it's upside down. Then I'm going to click and drag and pull that down, straight down. I'm holding down the Shift key as I'm dragging. Okay, and drag right to the bottom, and I'll make this match. Okay. Again, I'm going to go hit Control A, Image Crop. Okay. Then with this, you have a separate bottom area here. Then you're going to go to Edit, Transform, Perspective. Okay? Then you're going to pull out the bottom. 1 second. So with that selection, you have to make that a selection first. Okay, so then go to, what you would do is Control Command click on that layer, this layer here, so you have a selection around it. Then go to Edit, Transform, Perspective. So that puts a bounding box around the bottom, and then click and pull out the bottom left bounding box. And now he's on a floor, okay? And all these lines are perfect, okay? So let me hit Enter to apply the transformation, and Control D to deselect. Now what you'll do is, I had specifically requested adjustment layers that were clipping masks, so this is the perfect time to use that. So you're going to select this floor, and click on this icon here and select levels. Okay, and then with the levels, you're going to darken the bottom by dragging this over. But notice what happens. It affects all of the underlying layers, which is the top area too. So what you need to do is hold down the Alt or Option key and click in between these layers right here. Okay, so now it's isolated. So now that adjustment layer only affects the bottom. Okay, so now you have a base. So now what you need to do is, let's talk about text. All right, so this flippin' food Fred is just placed in there. It's not designed, so I want you to do this. I'm going to hide this and show these layers that I created separately. Okay, so we'll take flippin', and you spelled, by the way, you spelled flipping wrong. You have to have the exact, it's not flipping, it's flippin'. Okay, so I'll just select flippin', and I'm going to hit Control T, and I selected Arial Black. You want to have a nice, big, thick font for this. Okay, so I'll select this up here, hit Enter, and then with food, I'll place this over here and hit Control T, and I'll scale. I'll just pull and drag that out and make that really, really big. Okay, you can stretch it, and don't worry about it being so exact. So we have that. Okay, I'll hit Enter. All right, and then Fred, I'm just going to hide for now. So now what I'll do is this. I'm going to Control click or Command click if you're on the Mac, the T for food, and then Control Shift T to select the selection for flippin'. So we have both of these selected. I'll now hide these two layers. All right, and then select the background, this top area here, select that layer, and then hit Control J. that will copy what's in that selection to the layer above from the background. So you have that. Then I'm going to create a layer style for that. So I'm going to double click on that layer here, layer 19, and then select bevel and emboss, and you instantly see something here. So it's a nice subtle way of creating the illusion of the text, and you can start fooling around with these sizes and the settings for bevel and emboss by clicking on the name. You may also want to select like a thin stroke. So if I select the stroke option, I can, I don't know why I don't see that. Let's talk about a color overlay. All right, so if you select color overlay and select the name, we can now, for example, I'll click on this color box here and I'll select a color, maybe like a color that will kind of match the background, and then hit OK to that, and then we can fool around with the blending mode. So multiply looks pretty good there. I like that. So now if I go to stroke again, I don't know why I don't see that stroke. Stroke size is thick. Maybe because it's in multiply mode. All right, so we'll hit OK to that. So now I'll show Fred again. All right, go up here to show Fred and drag this down, and we're going to do something dramatic with this. So I'm going to scale this up a little bit, and then I'm going to go to Edit, Transform, Perspective. I see perspective is not available, so what you're going to do is convert this to rasterize the layer. It's a text layer, so you need to right-click on the Fred layer and select Rasterize Type. Now you're going to go to Edit, Transform, Perspective, and pull out the bottom bounding box. We actually should, I'll scale this up a little bit more. All right, so let me go back and hit Control T, and we'll scale this up quite a bit. So get it to be something like that. Okay, so we're just using this to get a selection. So now I'll Control click on that thumbnail, hide that text layer, go back down to the bottom and select this bottom area here, and then hit Control J to that. Okay, notice it screws up the adjustment layer. So let me drag this up above, and then you can apply a layer style to that. Bevel and emboss, baby. You may want to also go to color overlay, and that kind of has the same settings that we had there before. But fool around with the settings for this. Okay, you may want to experiment with the direction of the angle, maybe make it an inner bevel, that kind of thing. Okay, so most importantly, you need to have layer masks. Okay, so and also, I mean, the fork, you want to continue to cut out those details in here. Okay, there's the inside of the fork, and you also want the fork to be above the avocado to make it look like it's going into the avocado. All right, and to do that, you'd work with the layer mask and make sure your paintbrush is at 100% hardness. And simply by clicking here and clicking in, yeah, you have to do a much better job with the cutting out of the text of the fork. It looks pretty sloppy. You have to get the inside of the forks. So you've got a lot of work to do. You've got the inside of this bitten donut here. It also does not look like the waffle also does not look like it's cut out well. You chopped a lot off here. See, if you had the layer masks in there, you can go back and fix that, easily. So, I'm a little, I don't know. I'm sorry, but you need to go in there. The layer masks are really, really important. You can also adjust like these donuts here to make it look like it's on the right perspective. All right. So if I select this and hit Control T, and then hold down my control or command key. You can click on the middle bounding box and kind of stretch it out and kind of fake the perspective of it, you know, so something like that, you know. All right, so I hope that helped. You know, you've got a lot of work to do. So, and again, oh, I have to go back down here and re-clip this. There, okay? All right, hope that helped. Take care. Bye.